Good morning, Y10s. Let's now carry on reading the rest of the passage in which Dido curses her lover Aeneas, who has just decided to abandon her. So let's read the Latin first and then we'll translate the passage together. Ipsa mola manibusque pis altaria iuxta, unum exuta pedem vinclis in veste recincta, testatur moritura Deus et conscia fati sidera. So she herself, ipsa. Of course, we are talking about Dido. The subject is Dido. Dido herself. So before the poem described the priestess that was helping Dido during the sacrifice and during the curse. Now with this ipsa, Vergil gets the attention back to the protagonist, back to Dido. So she herself, mola manibusque pis, with a flour cake. I'll talk about this a bit more in a moment. With a flour cake and with pious hands. Iuxta altaria, next to the altars. So let's stop here for a moment. So mola, this is an ablative singular. Mola and manibus pis, those are all ablative singular and plural. So mola were flour cakes. So this is a flour cake, and it was essentially grain mixed with probably barley mixed with salt, and this was used to sprinkle the victims before a sacrifice. So when we talk about a sacrifice to the gods, we need to imagine this grain used to sprinkle the victims. We can imagine something fairly similar to rice cakes, salted rice cakes. So those are destroyed on top of the head of the animals that are about to be sacrificed. So with a flour cake and with pious hands. Manibus means hands, pis, pious. So before the sacrifice, Dido has completed the ablution. She has washed her hands because, of course, she's not allowed to sacrifice to the gods with not pure, not clean hands. So that's why those hands are called pious. She's next to the altars, and we know that around this pyre that Dido has erected in the inner part of her palace, there are the altars to the gods that she's about to sacrifice to and to pray to. Exuta means stripped off. So exuo is a verb, means to strip off or to pull off. And she's stripped off unum pedem, with respect to one foot. Vinclis, ablative plural, from the fastening, from the straps. So unum pedem is, again, we have seen this before, a Greek style accusative, an accusative of respect. And we know that this is not a typical Latin grammatical structure, but it's something that is borrowed from the Greek models that Vergil has in mind, for example, Homer. So we can translate this a bit more freely by saying that she has one of her sandals undone. This is what this sentence means, essentially. And not just that, she's also recincta in veste. So recincta It's another perfect passive participle of the verb rekingo. So rekincta means undone, and she's undone in her dress. That means that her dress is loose. She has undone the belt or the knot that keeps the dress together. Why? Why has Dido got one sandal undone? Why she has unfastened her dress? There is a very specific reason, and it has to do with the ancient idea of magic. So they believed that knots or fastening would somehow stop or prevent the magic power from flowing through the body of the person acting the magic. So for this reason, it was considered important to undo all the knots. And it's quite interesting to see that she has undone just one sandal, not both of them. And that might have to do with the nature of the curse that she is about to cast. So she wants Aeneas to be bound to her curse. So maybe that's the reason why she hasn't undone both her sandals. And the main verb is testatur. So she herself, testatur, means calls as witnesses or appeals to. It's a deponent verb, testor. Moritura, it's a participle, it's a future participle, again agrees with ipsa, so it's referred to Dido, and it's the participle, is the future participle of the verb morior, I die. Moritura means about to die. So Dido knows by now that she's about to die, and Vergil tells us moritura. And about to die, she calls as witnesses the gods, Deus, and Sidera, the stars. Sidera is an accusative, plural, neuter. The word is sidus, genitive sideris. And we are told something else about those sidera, those stars. They are conscia fati. Conscia is an adjective that means aware. Fati is the genitive. Aware of fate, aware of destiny.